Hello, dearies. Today I want to look at a couple of oracle decks that I have. This is my Druid Animal Oracle and my Druid Plant Oracle. And you'll have to excuse my chipped up nails. I've been doing some home improvement. So I've had the Animal Oracle for several years now. They're kind of beat up. They have been abused. I'm not sure what some of this film is on them, but they're kind of beat up. When I got the Animal Oracle a few years ago, the Druid Plant Oracle was not in print at the time, so it took me a few years to get the Druid Plant Oracle to go with my Animal Oracle. And I haven't really done much with the Plant Oracle. It comes with this lovely book that is huge and goes into the each card, each plant, the keywords for it, where you can find it growing wild, the meanings, upright and reversed, and then some folklore for each plant. So it's a really good book. A lot of information in there, and then some spreads that you can do. Good book. It also came with this paper mat that I don't use. That shows you, it's kind of a little map of spreads. And then here are the cards. You can see cards are much bigger than my animal deck. That's because the animal deck is one of the first ones that I actually modified. I cut down the borders. You can see the cards. They do come with this white border and then this interior border around each card, which is not terrible. Like this plant border is interesting and it does frame it nicely. But when I got the animal cards, I just really wanted to just have that picture and the title at the bottom. So I trimmed them down, and so I will also be trimming down my plant oracle so that they are the same size and I can use them together. So let's look at the Animal Oracle first. You can see this was my first deck modification, and it's pretty janky. It's a bit rough around the edges. I did all the cuts by hand and didn't have the best corner rounder, and they ended up looking a bit beat up. I don't mind that they look used, but it would be nice if they weren't quite so rough looking around the edges. But I do enjoy these cards very much, so they have really nice imagery, and I do think that cutting the borders off really brings out the artwork of each card. And each of the animals has an associated element, keywords, and even just using the animal behavior that you're familiar with will give you a nice interpretation of the cards. I did do a little bit of symbols on these cards just to give myself some cues at the time. And they're fun. Even the animal cards, they do have some plants in them. The water dragon has this little snail in the corner. There's a lot to pull from these cards intuitively. And they're just lovely cards. They're a lot of fun. There's stag. trees. There's a lot of little details that you can read through. Our frog with all of her eggs. I do love the dragons for each of the elements as well. The boar here, we had the sow earlier. And there are in most of the cards some indication of human cohabitation. Our air dragon. So, they're nice cards. I haven't worked with them as much as I'd like. Partially because I wasn't 100% happy with how they came out. Partially because shortly after this, got the Earth Spirit Oracle. Earth Oracle cards. I got my Earth cards, which I really love, and kind of took the place of these as a go-to Oracle deck for me. So I would like to start using this more, and I think that adding in the Plant Oracle to that is probably going to help a lot. And I'm much better at modifying decks now. So let's flip through these plant cards. And then these get the animals in the background, which is partially why I think they'll work really well with the animal cards. Not just because they're kind of two sides of the same type of oracle, but because they have elements of the other in them. And then I should be able to get some good clarification and a little bit deeper meaning by using them together, is my thinking. And I am much more likely to come across plantain than, for instance, a bear in my day-to-day life. And again, I enjoy the representations of the plants, showing the different life stages. This one, bramble, very thorny. Nettle with the snake and the butterfly. I have a lot of nettle around here as well. Some wild garlic. Plant lore is something I am interested in learning more about. Clover. puffball, but there's also a toadstool in the card, along with the toad. So, there's a lot of symbolism in these cards that I'm really looking forward to getting into and getting the hang of. The board appears a few times. And then these cards come with some blanks that allow you to create cards for the plants that either really resonate with you or that are common in your environment, so that you can personalize your deck. And I have not done that with my animal oracle. I probably won't do it with the plant oracle. Not 100% sold on my own artistic skills, though I could collage some good plant cards together. I may do that. Anyway, so I will be modifying my plant oracle to match my druid my druid animal oracle, and hopefully that will happen soon. I'll make a video of it, and we can see how this will turn out much better than this deck. But hopefully I'll clean these up some too. So my Druid oracles.